Get ready. Yeah. Y'all ready for some live shit? Welcome. Welcome to the D, baby. It's all live down here. What you see is all real.
What up, though?
What up, though?
Welcome back. Episode 267 of the What Up, Though podcast.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy that potentially this year we could cross 300 episodes. Well, wait,
yeah.
we have enough weeks in it? Wait, so yeah. So that's
what are we at?
Pretty much 267, so that's like 33. Yeah, if we at once a week without any many breaks, yeah, we got time. Even with a few breaks, 52 weeks in a year, we're down for
so that's
8, 12, 16.
8. That's about 8 months.
Yeah, we could do that. That's highly possible.
That's possible.
Highly possible.
However, unlikely, but possible.
However, unlikely. Shit happens. So,
Yeah.
I was just thinking like, so the 1 week that, actually, no, we'll still be able to record that week. Never mind. I'm going to say first week in June, I might actually get a chance to meet Delvin in Miami. So that's be kind of dope.
What you going down there for?
Get the fuck away from Michigan.
Oh, so hey, that's all.
Yeah,
that's all the reason it existed. I didn't know if it was something special or it was just.
I got a group of people that was trying to plan the trip to go. So we just going with about 4 or 5 other people meeting up. So it'll be cool. We're going from now that I think about it, I will be able to record. We're going from Thursday to Sunday. So yeah, so it'll be cool. And I didn't even think about it till we was chatting, in our DM chat. I was like, oh shit, he does live in fucking Miami. So yeah, so hopefully be able to catch up with him, for something. He's talking about, and then I'm laughing. I'm talking about what do you say? He's talking about I could take you on a man date or something. I'm like, nah, my wife will be there, so there's no man date, sir. Like we just hang out. So yeah, man, because I'll be going to Austin for Weasel Fest the week before, and then I get back, and then we got Memorial Day. Then 2 days later, then I'm out. So it'd be cool. Think about taking more time off. I took a vacation pretty much because of COVID, fuck ass. And then so really pretty much
nigga COVID.
Right. Well, it's pretty much kind of wait until the wife's second vaccination was all through and stuff. So yeah, man, looking forward to it. Man, I found that one of our cigar members had COVID, man. I ain't saw him in a while. Quincy.
Oh, Quincy?
Yeah. He said
man.
So I messaged him today because I was telling Tony I hadn't seen him on in a group and then I realized he doesn't have a Facebook page anymore. We were Facebook friends. And so I had messaged him just to check up on him. He was, I guess it's like the conversation that happened now, like, hey, how you doing? Good, blah, blah, blah. For me, as always, just trying to stay COVID free, my nigga, shit like that. And he was like, yeah, he had it in January. So I was like, wow.
Oh, so he had it in the past. I thought you said he had it right now.
Oh, no. Sorry, yeah, this past January, so a couple months ago. So, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, as long as you hear people have it and then they survive, like, to hearing people, they had it, and then, some fuck shit happened or so. So
yeah,
so I know we had no method of madness, but funny story. So every so often, I think I end up coming across somebody's page on Facebook, and I'm like, I wonder what happened to that person, or I think of somebody else or whatever. So came across this guy who I knew from my childhood, and I had classes with his brother. And so the guy came across, he's the younger brother of him. And so his name is Eddie. The guy I went to school, his name is Antoine. And I remember hearing years ago that he may have passed. And I think the rumor was either him or his brother had passed. So when I found his brother, the guy Eddie, Facebook page, I'm like, well, maybe he's still around because he had a picture within the last year or so. So he was always a troubled ass kid. So I always do inmate searches. I'm like, I had a good feeling like this motherfucker is probably in jail. Sure as shit, he's in jail. Got like 40 years or some crazy shit for like second-degree murder.
Damn.
So and it happened in like 18 or something, which coincidentally around the last time he had a Facebook picture that at least was public. Mm-hmm. So I'm searching his name because I'm trying to see if maybe it was in the news or something like that. Couldn't find that. But if you put his whole name, first, middle, and last, if it's court records that are public, you will see the court records. So I find a court record, and he was suing his lawyer because I guess he felt that his lawyer didn't interview certain people that would have helped his case and so forth like this. And this was in March. And I guess the court paper that I found had the case being transferred to federal for some kind of ruling. So I searched because it's him versus the lawyer. I searched the lawyer. The lawyer was a prominent Detroit lawyer that got killed in a car crash in February. So it was a car crash with the police, Detroit police.
Damn.
And he ended up dying.
Okay.
And so, and I remember him because I remember a few people on Facebook that had posted about him. So when the name came up, I didn't know the name, but when I saw the picture in the article, when I searched his name, I'm like, oh shit, I remember him. So I'm wondering, like, did he file this appeal because the guy's dead? Because I'm like, if the guy's dead, how do you prove your case? Does it go like I don't understand the legality around that? Because the guy died in February, and the case got transferred to federal, I guess, in March. So I'm wondering if it's, I was talking to somebody, they say they may not be the case, but I still wonder, like, it can't be that coincidental. It could be coincidental that he's filing the case against the guy and the guy's dead. And if the attorney's dead, how does that, work out in your favor or not? So search that.
I feel like it wouldn't.
Yeah, so it's like, who do you go to prove that? Yeah, so, yeah. But it's like, did that totally rule you out of having a new case because the motherfucker's dead? And I guess apparently not if it's going to federal case.
All right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
So I do. So it doesn't even stop there. I do more searching because...
But wait, there's more.
Right, exactly. But wait, there's more. I do more searching because I'm just curious if I can find any more information. So apparently... found the case document. This motherfucker killed a pimp. So the paper.
Who killed the pimp? Your friend or your friend killed the pimp?
My friend's brother, the guy Eddie.
Oh yeah, okay.
The guy that's doing time.
Eddie
I never found.
Oh, I thought your friend was the one doing time.
No. My friend's brother.
And Eddie, you discovered on Facebook.
Yeah, Eddie is the brother who I found on Facebook. I did not find Antoine at all. So I'm not sure if his status.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he's alive or he's just not on social media or any of that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the story goes, Eddie comes across this chick and I guess her pimp, and she's a prostitute. And he, I guess, not confronted her, but I guess wanted some sex or whatever. He's trying to buy her or whatever. Mm-hmm. I guess he gets into an altercation or a conversation with the pimp. Goes in they start arguing in the back of a building. They get into a fight. He stabs the pimp, kills him, and then walks back up to the chick like, "Hey, so we fucking or not?" Nah, he didn't say verbatim, "Are we fucking or not?" But basically, he walked back and he was like, "So you want to do this or not?" I'm assuming he said, "We fucking or not," because it just makes the story more interesting.
Yeah, that sounds like something you would.
Yeah.
If you kill a nigga and then go back for the pussy, no, you probably said, "So we fucking or what?"
Right.
Especially because at that point, she probably like, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to be next.
Right. So someone else goes back and see him, and my man is in the back of the building bleeding. They say blood is squirting out like water and shit. And I'm like, you just left this motherfucker dead, and you just go back like, hey, let's have some sex. Like, what the fuck? So that's how you got the second degree murder case. And yeah, but I'm like, dude, I didn't get shit done in work that day. I felt like a sleep detective and shit. I'm searching court documents, all kind of crazy shit. I'm just like, man, I've never heard a story of a guy killing a pimp, dog. Like, that was just like, it just really fucked me up. But that guy was touched, man. I think he's had issues anyway. Because I remember him as younger, and I just remember him just not being there. Like, I think he had some issues that wasn't, diagnosed or whatever, or could have been diagnosed, but he definitely was a little off when I was a kid. But yeah, occasionally I do this thing where I search people's last names on the offender list and, see if they, that's just the path I just figured he was. Like, I figured I found his brother, which I didn't find anything on his brother. So I don't know if like I said, the rumor years ago, that his brother, he got killed or something. And because I can't find anything, I feel like it might be true, but that doesn't mean anything because I can't find anything. But yeah, man, it's crazy shit. I spent hours, dog, looking up this shit. Like, I spent a good 2-3 hours at work doing this shit.
Yeah, I feel you. Once you get on that path, you want to know.
Yeah, you just want to know, man. I'm like, why is this information not public? Like, I'm looking up documents and shit and all shit. Yeah,
I like when you started telling that story, I was like, oh, I got a story that's similar. But no, I don't have a story that's similar. That went way left. Because the story started with like, I know a dude from school, and then I see this brother, and he's in prison. I'm like, oh, I got a story similar to this. But then it went in a direction where my story is not similar to that. So I don't know. I don't know.
I'll be like, bro, what's the fucking chances? Like, I know a motherfucker that killed the pimp too. Like, come on now.
Right. Guess what?
Right. Like, come on, dude. Yeah, that shit took up most of my day though, man. That shit was crazy. I'm like, wow.
I've spent hours looking up a dude that I went to middle school with, trying to figure out where he was at. Because he's one of my best friends, and I have no idea where he is. And I've looked him up on multiple occasions, couldn't find him. Then finally, I found him on a prison database, and I found out all the shit that he was in for, all this kind of shit. And then it looked like he recently got released, and I'm like, oh man, cool. But I'm like, well, now I don't know what to do. Because I don't know where he at. Like, I don't know. I just gotta hope that if he is out, that eventually he make a Facebook page. So that's really all I can hope for.
Like, do you wonder, like, what it would be like establishing that friendship, or do you just see how a person's doing? Like, what would you envision that interaction like?
So it's been like I don't think I saw him since middle school. So that means the last time I saw him would have been 1995.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, but he was like, him and one other guy were like best friends at that time. And I never saw the other guy through high school, but then I reconnected with him because this chick I was dating, I was on the phone with her, and she mentioned him or like I think he was in the room actually. Like, she was like with a bunch of other people or whatever, and like there's like chatter going on in the background. We just talking, whatever, bullshitting. And I didn't hear his voice, but I heard his name, and then I knew he went to Michigan because the girl that I was talking to went to Michigan. And I'm like, is that so-and-so? She's like, yeah, how you know? I'm like, yo, put that nigga on the phone. So yeah, like, so I talked to him a little bit on and off in college, and then like once we became Facebook friends, I basically stayed in touch with him. Period. He's one of the admins in the Pistons Facebook group we in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I've stayed in touch with him since then, and then I saw him, like, he came here maybe within the past less than 10 years, but probably more than 5. Somewhere in that range. And me and my wife and him and his wife went to a Lions game together. So me and him still pretty much the same as we were in middle school. And if I were to find the other guy, I feel like even though it's been like 25 years, like I feel like, like niggas can change a lot in 25 years. Like, I'm nowhere near the same person that I was back then. Well, I'm not gonna say nowhere near, because the shit that made the three of us close that don't change. Like jokes and shit like that, and just like having the same kind of sense of humor. So like I feel like if I was to run into him, it'd probably be just like old times. Like, yo, like it'd probably be great. That's what I think. I don't think he'd be like all of a sudden like he's some gangsta ass nigga like, yo, who the fuck is you, nigga? Like, you know, like trying to boss up and nothing like that. Like I feel like it'd be cool. So I don't know. I hope he make a Facebook page. But that's not even the kind of semi-related story that I had. The semi-related story was back when I was probably in my early 20s and early like in the range of like 20 to 23, somewhere in that kind of range. It was a chick I was dating, right? And it wasn't that serious. It was kind of like, yeah, we cool, whatever. But like it wasn't nothing where I was like, yeah, this might end up going somewhere. It wasn't like that. But we was seeing each other for a little bit. And there was one time I was at her crib and I'm like I'm looking around and I see a picture on the mantle. And I'm like, yo, who is that? And she said his name, and I'm like, yo, that's my best friend from elementary school, little brother. And she was like, what? She was like, oh, that's my baby daddy. I'm like, okay. I'm like, cool. Where that nigga at? I was like, where that nigga at? I ain't seen him since fucking 6th grade. She was like, he in prison.
Right.
Like, oh.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna head out. Like, no, he wasn't like that, but no, that was still weird because I wondered. I was like, man, if he found out, would he be mad at me?
Right.
Like, I don't know. I don't even know if his brother knows.
Jeez.
I ain't gonna tell him, but I don't know if his brother knows.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah, there's no reason to bring anything like that up anyway. So, oh, yeah, I was messing with. Yeah, nah, nope, never mind.
Yeah, so that was weird. I was wondering if that was ever gonna come back around, and I don't know if he's still. I don't know if he's still in jail. I should look him up, but I don't know if he's still in jail. I don't know if he's out. I don't know. I feel like at some point after that, like way after, I did see that he had a Facebook page, but I can't really recall because I am Facebook friends with his brother. So I don't know. That was a weird situation too. Like I reconnected with his brother in adulthood. I don't remember around how old we were, but we was old enough to hang out. And I remember we went somewhere, but it was kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it wasn't quite the same. And that's different. You're talking about like, this is my friend from like 3rd grade to 6th grade. And I'm like, okay, like that was just like, there's just too much like that. Actually, good example. My situation with him is a good example of nature versus nurture. Cause like, we were best friends at elementary school. Then I ended up going to a private school for middle school. And he ended up going to Serving. Then I went to Renaissance and he went to Cooley. and as you can imagine, our paths diverted and continued to divert farther apart as we got older. And now, like when I be looking at his Facebook posts and stuff like that, I'm just like, I feel like this is somebody who, like, if I met him now for the first time, we probably wouldn't be cool. Like, we wouldn't have no beef or nothing like that, but it wouldn't be like, oh yeah, this is one of my best friends. So it's like, it's just interesting to see how just the environment that you go from childhood to adulthood, the environment that you in, how it can change you to where somebody who started off in the same environment as you, but goes in a different path, how much differently that can change the people. Because me and him are way different now.
Yeah, I've experienced that with a lot of the guys that I grew up with. Like, I'm just out, and I had in short, I'm just way different than them. A lot of them guys are still in the hood. A lot of them guys got full hood ways. I'm just not there. But that transition happened early. That transition was like happening in like middle school and high school and shit. So it wasn't like we got to adulthood and then, took different paths. Like they just had a fucked up path and they just stayed that way. And I used to have this feel like I used to want to go around because I hadn't seen folks in a while because I grew up with these people. But I just realized I was just way too different, man. We just had different goals. We just had different morals. Like the things that were important to me were not important to them. And then I was just like, fuck, man, I don't know. These motherfuckers out here banging. They got enemies. I don't need to be around motherfuckers that might have a motherfucker roll up on us and shit. Like, it was just, I just, every now and then I go through my hood. I still got relatives that live out there. But for the most part, we just on two different, wavelengths, I'm going left, they going right. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going up, they going down. A lot of them. It's unfortunate, but I never call myself being uppity or any of that stuff, but that's a lot of things I just won't do and they will. And, I'm just, just a different person.
Yeah, I think that's another example of the same kind of deal. It's like you can, just depending on how you raise, you might just end up being different and valuing different things. And like, I don't think anybody from Detroit could ever be on some uppity shit to the point of like where they act brand new. Well, somebody can. But people like us,
yeah.
I don't think people like us could ever be like that, because we always like, it's like, yeah, like I went on a different path than a lot of my homies I grew up with. And now I live out in the burbs and I got a nice house and I'm not out here doing nothing. I'm not out here doing nothing to go get me shot. Like I'm just out here doing, just typical adult middle class shit. But at the same time, I don't ever feel like I could not be around any of my homies from back in the past. But at the same time, I also wouldn't be around them for extended periods either. So it'd be like, It would be like a thing where like you said, like you still go through your old hood because you still got family over there. And that could be a thing like you go through there, you see them niggas like, hey, what up? It's like y'all kick it. Maybe you hang out there for a couple hours, have some drinks or whatever. But not a thing where it's like, yeah, I'm hanging out with them every Saturday.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah, and I hate it. It's like that, man. But it's just, we got so our goals and our, the things we want to do in life is just a lot different. And I'm just, you see them, it's cool, it's love, but it's that's where it stops. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, I can't fuck with y'all like that. Y'all cool, but I can't fuck with y'all like that at all. So yeah, it's yeah. So
yeah, that's unfortunate.
It is, man. But I think it's always with seasons with people and shit. Like I had a good friend that I met in high school in 9th grade, and actually me, him, and Kellen, we all met in the same class, and we were like the best of friends all through high school. Early 20s and up until probably the 30s, and then that motherfucker just was like flaky as fuck. Like you hit that motherfucker up, he don't answer. You say you want to hook up, he don't come around and shit. And then at some point, man, you just get to the point where you just stop fucking people that's not giving you the same energy and shit. And then I think, for me, and I think the last thing that happened when I finally stopped reaching out to him is that when my brother passed, I'd never heard from him at all. Like, at all.
Yeah, and that's not going to work.
And I was just like, man, it's one thing, just to not talk to somebody. Everybody got their lives and shit, doing stuff. But, when that happened, I ain't talked to him, heard from him. And I was just like, you know what? I just stopped reaching out, and, that was that. But, it was a good run. It was 94 to, sometime maybe, 10 years ago or some shit. So, but, it was great. I mean, we had fun like a motherfucker. I remember me, him, and Kellen going, and this is the stupidest fucking shit ever. We used to go to Canada a lot to go to the clubs and shit, and being, broke, young adults and shit, we would, want to take alcohol with us. So, man, we devised this plan to put fucking, I think it was like a fifth of a fucking Quavo or some shit under the wheel of the car to go over to Canada. Now, luckily, they didn't search us. But I'm like, dude, there's no way in hell they would have searched us and not found that shit. I'm like, why did we do this dumb shit? Like, we all could have been in fucking Canada jail and shit for smuggling liquor and shit. You know what I'm saying? That was just the stupidest fucking shit I ever done. But it was shit like that, man. But just, at some point, when you have, friends and you feel like, that's your good friend, you're putting the same energy in being a friend that they are. And when a person don't give you that back, it's just like, why the fuck am I hitting this person up and they ain't hit me back or whatever the fuck. So, it's a good lesson.
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally agree. Like you can't you can, but I wouldn't keep those kind of people around. Like you just can't. Like one-sided friendships just do not. That's not it.
Nah. And the older you get, you got families and shit. So obviously, you're not going to be able to do the shit you were doing, prior to that. But common courtesy is just hit a person back. You catch up when you can. One of my best friends, we don't talk all the fucking time. But it's never because we don't want to. We just purposely not trying to talk to the other person and shit. But everybody got families and work lives and especially the last year plus has been fucked. So yeah, just can't put no energy into people that's not going to give you that same energy back and shit. Like if you was married and you doing that, you'd be fucking divorced. Mm-hmm. I can just imagine being with a motherfucker that don't give you the same energy back. I did a brief marriage counseling with my wife because my aunt who was marrying us, she normally said for her to do it, she would normally do like a whole like couple of weeks of like marriage counseling and shit like that. And so we did this abbreviated like 3-day course with her and shit. And she asked a question like, what percentage do you think, you both should put into, to your marriage to make it work? And it was almost like a trick question because of course we're like, yeah, we both need 50-50 and shit, but it was like, if you're not putting in 100%, you don't want the shit to work. And if the other person not putting in 100%, it's not going to work. And I'm sitting there like Ray J, like, you know what? You right. You right.
You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
Right. You right as hell. So, and you extend that shit to friendships too. So not just your spouse and shit. So, but yeah, man. So yeah, that was a hell of a rabbit hole to find this motherfucker. And even I had to share. I got a couple of YouTube to share you too because as I was searching his name. Are you familiar with the music website Reverb?
That sounds familiar, but I'm not sure what it is at the moment. Maybe
so I think it was a site. So it was a site where people just posted their music on, and they would either post just MP4s or MP3s of music, I guess. They would post videos, and so this motherfucker, he had music, and that shit was horrible, dog. He had a music video. Like, it was like the worst shit ever, man. Like, he had this one video where he's like downtown in like the Renaissance Center with like gold pants, like a gold tie with a random jacket doing like random Michael Jackson moves and shit throughout the Renaissance
Oh,
Center.
boy. Oh, man. Oh, man.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, this the motherfucker who killed the pimp, dog? Like, what the fuck is going on here, dog?
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I'll send you those YouTubes when I get a chance.
The pimp was like, "Hey, I heard your music, nigga."
Right?
Shit trash.
Like you can't get none of my girl, dog. Right?
Right.
Like yo, hoe ass. Your money's not good here, sir.
Right. Come on, Diamond. You ain't gonna fuck this no bars having ass nigga.
Man, I was watching these YouTubes and all like, what the fuck? Like, this guy really out here dancing, pulling these. And it was, that bridge that goes across from like the Renaissance across Jefferson?
Yeah.
So one of the videos, the guy is filming the entrance, and it's like a random white guy walks through. And the guy is kind of looking weird, like, why are you filming me? And then like a couple of seconds later, this motherfucker comes out with a mask on. I'm like, he was doing this COVID mask shit before this shit was cool. He comes out with a mask and he's doing these random dances and shit in the aisleway. I'm like, what the fuck, dog?
Oh my goodness. I gotta see that shit.
Yeah, I'll make sure I send you those. But yeah, quite fucking entertaining. Quite entertaining. So
hey. Speaking of entertainment, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just about to ask you about something. Go ahead.
No, you go first. I was just about to change the subject to a different topic.
Yeah, me too. I was just gonna say, your new one, Mike Venture. Did you want to talk about it a bit?
Oh yeah. So I put out a video today on the One Mic YouTube page and on Facebook and on Twitter, and basically it was an announcement of this new project that I'm doing for the channel, and it's been in my head for probably since even before I even started the channel. It's something I wanted to do, kind of like a passion project. Make it sound a little deeper than it is. I'm not creating some kind of magnificent art or anything like that, but I decided that I want to do something called retro reviews, and what that basically is going to be me. I'm going to go back and watch old shit that I liked, or that other people liked, or that is considered, that is well looked upon from the past, and watch it now with adult eyes and an analytical eye, and kind of go, okay, this holds up or this doesn't. And this holds up is not necessarily like, if you watch this show or this movie from 1983, it's going to be just as good as a good movie or show from 2021. Like I don't think that's possible, just because like the quality of programming we have now on television is the best it's ever been. And, movies have effects that they didn't have before, cameras they didn't have before, action sequences. There's so many advancements and in technology and just the craft itself that I don't think anything that I'm going to watch from the past is going to be equally as good as current day stuff. But a lot of that stuff can still hold up on kind of content standards, right? So I figured let me watch some of this stuff that I thought was really good as a kid or a teenager, and see if now that I'm looking at things from almost like a critic standpoint, if any of these things hold up. So the idea is basically I'm either going to watch a movie or I'm going to watch 5 episodes of an old TV show. The 5 episodes are going to be, one will be the pilot, so I can just see what the show was talking about on day one. How they did the pilot. Was it good? Was it reflective of the show? Just kind of get an idea of what the show is supposed to be. And the other 4 episodes will be whatever looks like general consensus says is 4 of the best episodes of the show. So what I'll probably do is I'll Google best episodes of whatever show, and I'll probably try to find as many articles as I can and try to cross-reference them and see what episodes appear in each list, and try to compile an additional 4 episodes that are supposed to reflect the best of the series. So that's what I'm going to start doing. I announced in the video that the first episode of that is going to drop on Saturday, and it's going to be covering the A-Team, which is a show that I absolutely adored as a kid and have been hung up on as an adult and just never got around to watching it. And I think part of the motivation behind me doing this was to give me an excuse to watch it, where it's like, oh, now I have to watch it. And but I've been thinking about that show and wondering if it would still be as good to me now as it was then for a very long time. So that's going to drop on Saturday. With this one, the pilot is a 2-part episode. So I'm actually going to be I'm going to be watching, I guess, the duration of 6 episodes, but the first 2 are in 1 episode. So it's all the other episodes are 45 minutes. Because you think, it's a show that was aired for an hour with commercials. So they're about 45 minutes, give or take. And this episode, the first one is an hour and a half. So I'm going to watch the pilot and then an additional 5 episodes. And I'm going to talk about it on Saturday. So, it's something that I really look forward to, because it's something I'm doing for me. There's stuff that I review on the channel that I might not necessarily watch if I wasn't doing that channel. So, but this is something where it's this is something that I want to do. And it's just my hope that other people will have that same kind of interest. Oh man, I'm wondering if the A-Team is still is worth watching in 2021. Because the A-Team is almost 40 years old, dude. It premiered in 1983. So that's an old ass show, dog. And I'm just man, I'm really curious. I'm really curious.
I think. Well, a couple of thoughts. I'm sorry if you weren't finished. I want to cut you
off.
No,
I was.
Couple of thoughts. I think what you're doing is a niche situation, just with your reviews. I mean, people do reviews, but I think at the frequency that you do, I don't think no one is really doing it like that. And
I don't think so either. And
with your idea with the old shows, I don't see that as I can't recall seeing that online. So I feel like, I guess the thing with, being successful, and whether you care about that or not, I mean, I know you do it because you enjoy it, but if you could be successful at it, that's a ultimate plus as well. But being able to do something that no one is doing and get that crowd is just, that's pretty awesome. Because a lot of people are doing the same shit. Like, there are a lot of fucking people doing podcasts. Like, there are so many fucking podcasts that it almost, it's oversaturated. When we first started doing our podcast in 2014, it wasn't many people doing podcasts at all. And now it got to be thousands of fucking podcasts, even just Twitter based. It got to be fucking thousands.
Hell yeah.
Of podcasts. So it's like, even with now, I think trying to figure out how do we stand out in a space where so many is kind of almost, it's just hard. But I think what you're doing though is definitely is one dope anyway, and I think you have a niche that's not really there. So
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I hope that people get into it, because I feel like what I do is common in general, but not as common on YouTube once I start looking at other people's stuff. So like, I started looking at other people's stuff, and I realized it seems like everybody does the same thing. And what bothers me about it is that everybody does the same thing and gets a fuck ton of views and a fuck ton of interactions and shit like that. And I'm like, it seems to me, I'm just like, how does, if 1,000 people are doing the exact same thing, how are all 1,000 of them getting a whole bunch of viewers, and me, who's doing something different, doesn't? And when I say all doing the same thing, if I'm looking into like, if I'm on YouTube and I'm looking to see like, okay, let me see what somebody thought about blank TV show. When you look at search results on YouTube, like you see like the thumbnails for the videos, all the thumbnails look the same. Like, they kind of like have the same similar kind of font, like big giant font. Like, they have the same similar kind of design. And then they always have like titles that will say something like ending explained or top 10 something or other. And it'll be like, and it will be something that don't even really got to do with what they're talking about. Like, I saw one today that said something that it was like, oh wait, you watched it. Okay, so yeah, I could tell you. So you watched Mayor of Easttown, right? You watched both episodes?
Yeah, I watched both episodes, yep.
Yeah, so as of now, this is not a spoiler for anybody watching, because it's a show about murders that need to get solved. Put it that way. Real blanket. If you want more detail, watch my videos, because I don't spoil the show. But it's about some murders in a small town that need to get solved, right? And the video that I saw today said something like, "Who is the killer?" And then it said episode 2 review. And it's like, you can't so it's not a thing where it's like you're revealing who the killer is or giving they might be giving a theory, but it's really a review of episode 2. And I'm like, the ending explained or big questions like, who is the Night King from Game of Thrones, or top 10 Game of Thrones murder, it seems like they're all like that. And then you watch the video and it'll be somebody talking over clips of the show. So like, there'll be a clip of it and they'll be like, and they'll just be talking. They won't even necessarily be talking about what you're seeing. It's just like them talking about the show, and then there's clips of it. And part of what made me want to do this, even though I know there's a lot of people already doing it, is that I felt like there's not enough people who are putting themselves out there. It's like, I feel like it's easy, not in a literal sense, but in like an emotional sense. It's easier to just like piece together clips of a show and then talk over it where nobody can see you. And like, I feel like me actually putting myself on camera and to a point where like I can't really, like, if I fuck up, I can stop my recording, or I can start it over, or I can do a whole bunch of editing after the fact. Like, but I don't want to do all that shit. And the same way I treat it the same way I do this podcast, because I don't want to, like, the point of the podcast, at least from my perspective, is so people can just hear us talk, right? And no one talks perfectly. Like, people fuck up. People say people say like, you know, people say all those sorts of things. People fumble their words. Like, it's just who people are, which is why I never feel like we need to edit shit out of the podcast. Like, the only time I feel like we need to do that is if something went wrong and there's like a whole lot of dead air or something like that, or one of us can't be heard, something like that. And that's how I take my videos. I'm like, you know, I could stop it if I fuck up, or pause it, or edit it together in a different, I could do those things, but that's not, I want it to be genuine. I want everything that I do to be genuine. So like, I don't read from a paper, because I feel like it's easier to do that if you can't be seen on camera. You can create your audio however you want to do it. You can say a sentence, stop it. Say another sentence, stop it. Say another sentence, and you can do it and make it so that it plays perfectly and sync it with your video, and you smooth. But like, I almost feel like my videos are like live, and you just watch the live version of it, kind of, because I don't do any of that shit. I did the most editing I've ever done on a very recent video, and it ate up most of my day. And I was like, this is why I don't do editing. But it was something where I was like, I have to do this. So, because something just was not acceptable for me to put it out. So I'm like, I have to do something. But other than that, like, I don't do that shit. And I feel like that's not as present on YouTube as the other types of reviews. But at the end of the day, that shit is getting a whole bunch of plays, and I'm still kind of relying on my own likability, which I might be overrating a little bit here, because I keep thinking like, yeah, I can get off because people are gonna like me. Like, what? Why would I think people like me? They don't barely like me now. Like,
I think the thing for you is just getting the traffic so somebody can actually see it to like it or dislike it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to get the traffic.
Yeah.
And I think what frustrates me about your youth, and it's no fault of yours, it's just the way the internet is. It takes the longest. Like, it has to be a better way to be able to search you on YouTube. I wonder if that's the issue that keeps viewers, because you show the show, you have your shows, but like, if I type one mic, and I don't think there is a one mic podcast on there, but if you type one mic from the music video comes up, like Nas one mic, and that's ONEMIC.
Right.
And I've clearly typed ONEMIKE.
Yeah, I've noticed it getting better in that regard, but it's still not good. Like, when I first started doing this, it was almost impossible for me to find anything of mine. And I still don't know, maybe it's still impossible for someone else, but since I do it and I'm constantly uploading my own videos, it's easier for me to find my videos if I'm searching.
Now I will say
my videos constantly playing.
Yeah, I mean, from someone else out of your search circle. Like, I will say, when I type One Mic Network, you pop up now.
Interesting.
So remember, I was telling you before, like, I didn't know if your name was like one of those names could be changeable or something like that. But like, if your name was, if your online name for your network on there was One Mic Network, I just wonder if that would show versus One Mic because of Nas's One Mic and other people having One Mic as a name or some shit.
Yeah, I could probably change that.
Yeah, and I'm just curious to see if you change that and someone search One Mic Network, how fast do your page come up? Because now when I type it, it'll come up. But if I just type One Mic, nah, that shit ain't showing up at all.
Interesting.
And I watched the YouTube before, and a lot of people were saying how they use one long word, no spaces, for when they search, they can find them easier. So if you had, for example, if you had One Mic Network as one whole word, no spaces, just a searchability. Because like I say, when I remember when you first started doing it, and I would type One Mic, it was just, I mean, I knew your page because I was subscribed, but I was curious to like, why isn't it coming up? And
me too.
And the fact that Nas's one mic comes up every fucking time. And I'm like, it's MIKE. Like, why is the filter filtering that?
It's probably assuming you did a typo, just like on Google, like you'll type in, like, did you mean this? Like,
yeah, but it's like at least
it
asks you that. Like, I'm typing
That's
the
true.
exact word, like MIKE. Like, I just feel like MIC, but maybe they just assume one mic is you really meant MIC.
Yeah, that's what I think is probably happening. Which I'm not even particularly bothered by that, but I am bothered by the fact that I do still feel like if you type in what it actually is and like you look at the whole page and all you see is stuff from Nas, that's bothersome. But if the first couple results are Nas, but then I still show up, fine. But if you type it in and all you get is Nas, like, that's a problem to me. So I'm like, yeah, that bothers me a little bit. But like I said, I have no way of knowing that, because now I think when I type it in, I still get stuff because because now the YouTube is personalized for me, and I constantly am uploading my own videos, and I don't play them all the time. Like, I don't play them at all, but I'll start to play them because I'll copy and paste like the description into multiple things. So I'll open up the video and copy the title, copy the description, and I'll put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, put it on the podcast feed, like all that kind of stuff. So like I have at least played each of my videos one time. So like I think YouTube is probably like, well, this nigga watches this shit, so he type in one mic, he means it.
Right, right. I think a good test for you to look at it and see is probably just open your browser in incognito.
Yeah,
it shows no history and just show up. But when I type one mic network, it comes up top of the list. Huh. And so that's why I was like, if you did a test of just putting your name as one mic network, and so when people because I figure if people type in one mic, it's not going to show up at all. But I don't think people know to just type the add network to it. That's why I was like trying to see if that helps searchability, because now it has just come up. But yeah, I was like, man, why the fuck is it not showing up? I mean, obviously I was subscribed already, and I go to your video, so it's like it's not like I don't go to it. So it's like if I type it in, it seems like it would pull up the shit I actually view and shit. But yeah, algorithm is real.
Yeah,
weird,
it shouldn't do that. It shouldn't do that if you type it in there.
Yeah, so
but YouTube is such a funky ass algorithm, dog. Like, it's one of those things where it's like I think you need a fairly substantial amount of luck, because no matter how good your video is, if nobody watches it, they're not going to know it's good. And if YouTube's not serving it up, then they're not going to be watching it. So it's like, it's kind of like a chicken before the egg situation. Like, okay, I can't get views because YouTube's not serving my shit up. And I don't know how to get YouTube to serve my shit up, because I can do all these different things, but it's almost like you have to get the views organically before, and then YouTube will go, oh, people fuck with this, and now we can now we'll put it in search, higher up in search results. So it's like you almost need that luck to where something pop off, and then maybe you can get people who actually are showing up, watching your videos, subscribing or whatever, and then YouTube will start, then maybe those people subscribe, they watch your other videos, and then YouTube's like, okay, people fuck with this person, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, that sounds like it's there's been several times where I'm just kind of like, why am I even doing this? Like, I'd say probably at least once or twice a month, I'm just like, why am I even doing this? But then I like doing it.
Yeah, so. You just like doing it. I think once the algorithm fixes, and I think you will be a little better. I don't know if that's ever going to fix or not, but you could try some hacks and see what happened. But yeah, real quick though. So when you posted the video or the non-spoiler for Mayor of Easttown, so the picture of the picture that you use is it has her just kind of like showing like her profile, and she's kind of looking off or whatever. Nigga, I thought that show was like something like a almost like a Western or some shit. Like when I started watching this show, I was like, this is like real time or like a real like city. I really thought it was some like country wet, like she's in this fucking, and I thought mayor was like a playoff of her being the mayor of the fucking town and shit. Like I was totally wrong about anything I assumed about the show.
I didn't assume that looking at the poster, but now that you say that, I can definitely see how somebody would think that. That Mayor of Easttown even sounds like the name of like a Clint Eastwood movie from the 70s or some shit.
Yeah. And so when I started watching, I'm like, is this the fucking show I'm supposed to be watching? And I'm looking like, oh, like I really thought I was like looking at a preview for a different show or some shit. Like, I'm like, this does not look like the fucking cover of what I thought I was going to be watching.
Like, this shit takes place in 2020, nigga?
Yeah. So I'm like, dog, what the fuck? But yeah, it was it's definitely good though. Like I say, I don't watch both episodes, and no, I just realized her ex-husband is fucking Pam's ex-husband in The Office.
Yo, that's it. I'm thinking like, why do this nigga look familiar? Yes, it's fucking Roy.
Yeah, it's fucking Roy.
Yeah.
Now, I will say I did not catch that from the show. When I was looking at the characters on IMDb, it shows this old picture. I'm like, motherfucker, that's fucking Roy. But I didn't catch that in the show though, because he looks a lot different with his facial hair and shit to me.
Yeah,
so he threw me off. Yeah, but I look like this.
And he got glasses on.
And he got glasses.
I'm thinking like, man, this nigga look familiar as fuck. And I could not place him, dog. I'm like, where do I know him from? Man, it's fucking Roy. That's who the fuck he is.
But when I saw his one of his on Google when it shows the cast and show, they show other pictures and shit. And I'm like, fucking Roy. Like, I hated that motherfucker. And I did not catch that until I saw. Roy. Yeah, I did not catch that until I saw the casting on the cast list on Google. I'm like, goddamn, Roy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's a cool show though. I'm definitely gonna continue though.
Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna spoil it, but them niggas had the cliffhanger of all cliffhangers at the end of that second episode. I was like,
I meant to message you about that too, and I forgot about it. And I mentioned what I thought afterwards. But yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a good show. Hopefully, they keep it up.
Yeah, if what they said at the end of that episode is true, man, there's gonna be a whole lot of explaining they're gonna have to do over the
yeah, I mean,
few episodes.
Like to your point in your review of the first episode, like it was pretty much, a lot of, character building, and then just, it's almost like it was building the plots that's going to happen throughout the show. But the second episode was fucking amazing. And like I say, the end of the episode ended, I'm like, whoa. And then I'm mad because I thought, I guess they don't do like Netflix where they just drop all the episodes. I was ready to watch the third episode. Like, fuck, I don't even know what day this show fucking comes on.
Oh man, no, dog. No, nigga, that's not an HBO Max. That's just on regular HBO. So it only hits HBO Max. It hits HBO Max at the same time that it airs live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you got to wait till Sunday at 10
to watch it. I was mad as hell. I was ready. It was like 11, but I was still up. I'm like, fuck, I'm about to watch this next episode. And I go back to the list, and there's only 2 episodes. Like, fuck.
Yeah, nope. You gotta wait every week on this one.
I wonder why shows are, well, not wonder. I mean, I know Netflix kind of took off with that with House of Cards, and so I just kind of got used to that shit. Like, fuck. Cause I watch now. So on Sundays I watch. Now I watch that, and then I watch Godfather Harlem, and that comes on Sundays as well.
Like, I wanted to start that.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's in season 2 now. But yeah, I was like, God damn it. So, and then especially now with snowfall over and shit, I haven't had it. I didn't have at that time. I didn't have a show to jump into, so I got 2 shows on Sundays. So, but I think Godfather Heart just comes out on Sunday during the day. I don't think it comes on in the evening. I don't think. Let me not say that.
HBO different than every other network or streamer because HBO don't put out nothing all at one time. Like most of the stuff on HBO Max is just stuff that airs on HBO Live. So it's like you only get it once it's already aired or at the same time. Like the only thing, like Bill Maher, like airs live, so you can't turn it on HBO Max at the time it comes on. You got to wait till like the next day or a few hours later. And then like the shows that actually are like fiction or whatever, they're not live. Those will be on HBO Max at the same time as they air live, but that's it. Like, so you still got to wait week to week And then even their HBO Max originals, they don't even put that out all at one time. They'll usually put out what they do, and I like what they do even better. They'll put out 2 or 3 episodes at one time. So like you'll get like 3 episodes when it drops, and then in 1 week, instead of getting another 1, you might get another 2. And then the next week you might get another 2. And then next week you might get another 3. So like I like that a little bit better because it gives you both. It gives you the best of both worlds. Like you can binge a little bit on the one night, and then you still get to also build up anticipation. So it's like, oh, I can build up anticipation, but then I don't have to watch just 1 episode. I can at least get 2. So like that's kind of fun, and I like that. But no one else does that.
Yeah, but I'm like, fuck. I guess I should be waiting like regular shows and shit. But yeah, I'm definitely on both of those now. So, and
I want to start Godfather Harlem.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I really enjoyed it. But I remember I binged because once season 1 had already been through, and so I started watching that, and then I'm like, fuck, season 2, because I had thought that both seasons were out already. But yeah, it's dope, man. I always fucking pronounce his name wrong. Esposito, Giancarlo.
Oh yeah, he on that?
Yep, he's in there. He's this pastor on there. Obviously Forrest Whitaker. He's Bumpy Johnson. Malcolm X is played by. Are you familiar with the actor Nigel Thatch? I think you would know him if you've seen him.
Probably, but.
And then Vincent D'Onofrio.
He's in that too?
Yep.
Damn. That show got a cast.
Yeah, it's a hell of a cast. It's a hell of a cast. So
you know what's funky about that show is like it's tough for I don't know why a show with that kind of cast is on like an off-brand ass network.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like that kind of fucks up its ability to actually take off because like it's hard for a show to overcome that.
Oh, and fucking Paul Sorvino is in it too.
Yeah, I'm looking up this Nigel Thatch dude. He don't look familiar to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Why don't I know? I don't think I would know this guy. Oh, I'm looking at it showing screenshots of him as Malcolm X on that show. Not bad. Not bad.
But yeah, and then I forget the guy.
He looks like Malcolm X mixed with Barack Obama.
Yeah, he does kind of have that mix. Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what was the guy from Amen? The fucking
Amen.
You remember the TV show from 80s?
Yeah. Yeah. Sherman Hemsley dead.
Not Sherman Hemsley though. The one the guy that his daughter was in love with. I don't know why I can't think of it, but he plays Malcolm X in the show.
So that's Nigel Thatch?
No, Nigel Thatch is. I'm sorry. I take that back. He plays Elijah Muhammad. Excuse me.
Okay.
Clifton Davis. That's what it is. Clifton Davis.
I know that name.
Yeah, Clifton Davis plays Elijah Muhammad in that.
Damn, Chaz Palminteri on this too? Damn, this shit got a cast.
Yep, I forgot about him. Yeah, he's Joe Bonanno. Yeah.
Luis Guzman? What the fuck he doing? Who was the last name you said? Why can't I find this name?
Clifton Davis.
Method Man is on there?
Who?
Yeah. Method Man.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's in season 2. Yeah, he's not in season 1, he's in season 2.
Why can't I find Clinton Davis? Like the name sound familiar, but I'm trying to place a face, but I'm not seeing him in the cast.
Yeah, you had to like in Google, you have to go like to
Clifton Davis. Yeah. Okay.
More characters and shit. It'll show him.
Yeah, I was on IMDb.
Yeah, I was looking through Google, but yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, man. It, to your point, I wonder how Epic got such a fucking how
you get that show?
Hell of a cast, but it's one hell of a cast for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. And like I said, the problem with that is like it's gonna be so hard to get eyes on that show, even with that cast, because people just don't have any respect for that network because they don't know it.
And ain't shit else on the network. Like, I'm really paying $6.99 for that show.
That's
and
crazy,
I combed through the episode. I combed through the series of TV. I was like, none of this shit interests me at all. Like, at all.
Yeah, they got
because it's so cheap. Because it's so cheap, I just keep it. But I'm like, there's nothing else on there that interests me at all.
They're gonna have to find a way to get awards or something. Like, well, if they start getting some award recognition, then that'll help. Because that's the same thing that happened with Mr. Robot. Because Mr. Robot was good as fuck, but it came on USA. Who the fuck watching USA? Like, nobody watching that shit. So if I say, yo, Mr. Robot is dope, what y'all reckon on USA? Oh, fuck out of here. like nobody gonna check for that shit. But when it start winning awards, then it's like, okay, now people are looking for it. So like, yeah, Godfather Harlem probably gonna need to win some awards or something before people still start watching it, because I've never even heard of that network other than the fact that you told me the show was on it.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
And only time I saw it is because it shows up in my feed on Prime. It shows as one of the add-ons to do. And then I heard a few things on it, but I didn't, even when I heard about Godfather Harlem, I didn't know, I thought it was on Amazon Prime. I didn't realize it was actually on the Epic. And so you could do like a trial and they let you watch like 3 or 4 of the episodes, and then you have to like get a season and shit. And I watched 2 episodes, like, I'm not getting that. But then I had the Stars Network, and that shit, I had watched everything on there I wanted to watch. So I canceled Stars, and then I just added Epic, and then I just started watching that. So yeah, man, it's definitely a good show.
Well,
I mean, like you see, man, it's fucking star-studded as fuck, man. So
that's crazy that a show got that level of talent and it's on fucking ethics.
Yep. And Gennaro Esposito, he's a fucking riot on there, boy. Woo. But Forrest Whitaker is balling out on that, man. Like I say, everybody, Paul Sorvino, all the, everybody who we talked about, man, they're fucking amazing on that show. So yeah, add that to your list when you get a chance, and all your assignments for One Mic Network and such. So, but yep. You got anything else?
Nah, man, I'm good. We can wrap up.
All right. Well, yeah. I look forward to next. I guess by next week, episode 3 of Mayor of Easttown be out already. So yeah, I need some more shows to watch since I'm out, and then now the only two shows I watch currently are on.
I'll tell you what the fuck to watch right now.
What's that?
It's the same show I've been telling everybody to watch for the entirety of the fucking One Mic Channel podcast.
Oh,
Gomorrah.
Gomorrah. Yeah, I realized I need to watch that. I realized I need to watch that when I can just totally pay attention to it, because I have a hard time with fucking caption shows. But from your request,
that fucking sucks.
I'm gonna do it. Like,
I mean, you can watch it in English. Like it has an English dub. Like, so you can watch it in English. It's just like I choose not to, because like you lose the actors' like inflections and like there's just something I feel like is lost in it in the English dub. Like because like you're not hearing the actor, you're hearing some other motherfucker. So
yeah,
like I choose not to, but you can if you wanted to. You can flip it to English.
That's why I never watched Narcos. That's why I never watched Narcos.
As a matter of fact, I don't know if it did this every time. I can't recall. But I think if I like stopped and then picked it back up later, it defaults to English. So like I would start if I started it, change it to Italian, and watched like say 3 straight episodes, they would consecutively be in Italian. But then if I left, I finished and I come back say 5 days later, I'm like, all right, let me watch again. It defaults back to English. So I got to change it. And like that was a little bit annoying. And then there was an episode kind of late in the run, like I think it was like season 3, like late in season 3, where it opens up with a character who's speaking in English. So I'm like, well, I was so confused. I'm like, why is it not fucking going, like, where are the captions? Why is it not going back to Italian? Like, what is going on? And I'm like, oh, wait. like he's in London. They speak English in London.
Right.
But yeah, nigga, watch, dog. I'm telling you, nigga, like, there's some shows where you can be like, okay, so take Breaking Bad, right? I think there are some people who might watch Breaking Bad and be like, oh, this shit boring. I don't really like this. Like, I could see people doing that for Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, something like that, where it's like, no, this is not really hitting for me. I really don't think that there's anybody who would not like Gomorrah. Like, I feel like there's something in that for everybody. And it's like, I don't know, it's pretty fast paced. It's almost like an Italian version of The Wire, but like even more fast paced than that. With no bad episodes or no season where people are like, oh, season 2 kind of boring. Like none of that. Like there's no bad episodes of this show. Like every episode is interesting as fuck. It's entertaining as hell. It's fast paced. Mad niggas die throughout the whole shit. Like it's crazy, dog. It's such a good fucking show, dog. Like I don't think there's anybody who would not like it. I'm thinking about trying to convince my wife to watch it just so I can have an excuse to watch it again. Like that's how good it is. I almost never go back to watch a serious show a second time. Like the only shows that I've seen the entirety of the show multiple times is Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad. That's it. I've seen the entirety of those multiple times. Everything else I've only seen one time in its entirety. Like I've probably seen like a season multiple times or like certain episodes multiple times, but like the full run of the show multiple times, like you do with The Wire, that's how I feel about Gomorrah. Like I feel like I could watch Gomorrah over and over and over.
So that's high praise. So I'm going to give it a run. Probably.
Man, you got to give it a shot.
I'm gonna definitely give it a run. I'll definitely give it a run.
You got to give it a shot, dog.
So I may at least start by at least the next episode. So our episode. So I'll give it a run.
I remember I said something on Twitter at some point. Like I put up, I think about 100 videos or so at this point, give or take. And of everything that I've reviewed, like the stuff that I would recommend the highest as far as TV goes would be Gomorrah number one. Of every single TV show I've reviewed, Gomorrah would be my number one recommendation. And then will probably be Schitt's Creek. Ted Lasso is really fucking good, which is so surprising to me, but it's really fucking good. And I mean, people are already up on like shit like Snowfall and The Expanse. Like that shit's kind of well known, even though The Expanse don't get viewers like that, but it's still well known. Like people are aware of it for the most part. But man, like Gomorrah, dog, man, if people would just watch Gomorrah, Gomorrah is actually my most played video that I have not put out ads for.
Oh, really?
Like I put out ads. Yeah, I put out ads for multiple videos. And if you ranked my videos by views, I think maybe the first 5 or so will probably be ones that I put ads out on. But Gomorrah is probably around like number 6 or 7 or something like that. And I've never put out an ad for that. And people like, it's just something about that show that I think people watch it or start to watch it. And they immediately hit up YouTube like, yo, I want to talk about this shit. Because like the video that I did for Gomorrah season 1, it's not even a good video. It's back when I first started. But like that video will still get consistent plays. People still comment on it every now and then. Like people fuck with that show. They be like, yo, man, I fucking love this show. You was right. I'm like, I told you, motherfuckers. Like it's shit good as fuck. Mm-hmm. It's got a side movie and everything, dog. And it's still got the final season. The final season ain't even aired yet. They're filming it right now.
Oh shit!
So I'm like, man, there's still. I'm like, it's not even over yet. Like, there's another season. The final season coming. Oh man, nigga, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to watch it, but nigga, I would try to move heaven and earth to watch that live whenever it airs. Like, and wherever it airs, it's gonna be airing probably live in fucking Italy. So I don't know. It might be fucking 2 in the afternoon here or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what the time difference is gonna be. I don't know if I'll be able to find that channel on, the thing that we use to watch stuff. But I'm certain that channel is on there somewhere. And I will find that fucking channel. I will find out what time that show airs and what time that is here. And I will move heaven and earth to watch that shit live. Nigga, whenever that time comes, I'm going to be anticipating that shit on Game of Thrones levels. That's how much I love that show.
Okay. Well, like I say, I'll be done watch at least first episode or two by next week. So
yeah,
by next episode. All right, y'all. Well, other than that, see y'all next week.
Yep.
Peace.
You can find a What Up Though podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, all of them. Do you listen on iTunes? If you haven't already, drop us a review. If you got questions, you can send them to whatupdopepodcast@gmail.com. That's WUDUPDOEPODCAST@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Facebook, or you can find us on Twitter @WhatUpDopePodcast. Peace.